Okay, I just wanted to go over a couple other details that I want you guys to be aware of. These are just a few random things. First of all, I want you to have a very clear understanding of what it is that we do. Okay, uh, when an owner asks, what do you guys do? What are you guys all about? This is what we do. We bring owners and managers guests for approval. We bring them a deal and we say, do you want it? We provide all the written details about the guests as well as the amount of money that they're going to receive on it. They get a full breakdown in writing of what it is, and then they can look at it and say, yeah, that looks like a good deal. I'll take that. Click. Um, and if they have any other questions about a deal, they can contact us. It's really nice. So essentially, we bring them a deal totally in a package in a box, and we say, do you want it? And then they take it or leave it. Once approved, we'll transfer the funds over to them, and then we provide the guests with the check-in instructions so that they can coordinate check-in with the owner. That's usually the owner's information, and they just coordinate the check-in between them and the guest. Unless they want us to give them more instructions to the guest, we can do that. But essentially that's what we do. And then owners, they determine the cut that we get for doing this. Okay, our standard is 10%. We can do lower than 10% if management approves. Also, you should be aware that in the industry, 10% is a good deal. Most do 20%. So 10% is below the industry average. So we are very affordable to owners. Okay. From an owner's perspective, I just want you to get an idea of kind of what's on their mind and what they're thinking and how this all works for them. So they know they have a house to fill. They want to. Their biggest concern is actually not money. It's actually making sure that they get good people in there that aren't going to trash their house. And so all of a sudden they get a call from you, they have this quick conversation over the phone, you give them a few parameters, and it's kind of like they end up forgetting about us. They usually don't remember. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they get this email from us saying, hey, we have a client, they're ready to book, here's this packaged guest, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh. And it's kind of like like, okay, I'll take the deal. And there's some details that we have to work out at that time, which is fine because we have a deal that we're bringing to them. And then they're much more willing to listen and work with us. So your conversation with them isn't meant to be this long, okay, we're going to get you signed up and there's a big contract. And it's not like that. It's just, hey, are you willing to work with us? And here, I just need to get a couple details from you so I know that I have proper information to work with. And then I'll come back and we'll bring you a deal later. So nothing is finalized. There's no contract from us between us and them. It's what happens is when we bring them a deal, if they want the deal, at that time we'll finalize any kind of paperwork or questions that they have. Each deal, just so that if an owner ever wants to know this, each deal has its own agreement with it. When they accept it, they basically say, I'm going to accept this deal and I'll accept your guys' terms. And our terms are very reasonable. If they want to know what they are, just say that your manager will send it over. They're very simple. They basically just say, look, if you accept this, you have to accommodate the guest. You can't just back out because you don't want it. So it's pretty simple. So anyway, they end up having this quick conversation. All of a sudden they get this email saying that we have a deal for them. They say, great, looks good, I'll take it. They accept or reject that reservation, and then we pay them just pretty much like any other guest would. They get their money and they get someone who stays in their house. So it's very similar to if we were booking their house for one of our employees. It would be the exact same process. So that's a good way to put it. Is that it's just as if we were booking it for one of our employees. And lastly, I wanted to talk about some good phrases that I have found are just good things to keep in mind that have helped me. They're things like, did I catch you at a bad time? This way they can, you can kind of find out if you got someone on the phone and you want to make sure that you can actually have a second to talk to them and you're not annoying them. Just ask them, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? And then they'll be like, oh, no, I got a second. And then you can feel a little bit more at ease talking to them. Another one is if someone acts resistant, just ask them, hey, what has you concerned? And they'll be like, oh, well, we already booked so much and yada, yada, yada. And then they'll voice their concern. You can then work to resolve that concern. Following up with people by email, I just want to follow up, see how you want to proceed. Just kind of ask them. It's a simple way to follow up with people. Also, people a lot of times worry about their address. when you ask for their address, people are a little leery. They just met you, and all of a sudden they're giving their property address to you. Tell them that we don't display the addresses publicly. It's just something that we need for internal records. Um, um, I always say this. I'm very honest with them. I say, look, it would make no sense for us to book dates and take a cut if those were already dates that you know you're going to book at full price. Okay, like you always fill that time of year, like Christmas. Why would we take a cut at Christmas time? But then ask them, but how about other seasons of the year? Are there other times of the year when you'd be more open to offering some sort of a commission or a cut? I usually don't like to say commission. Commission is kind of a bad word. I'll just say cut. Another thing I'll do is I'll validate their concerns. If they express a concern, don't immediately rush to resolve it. Okay, validate it first. Tell them this. Say, it seems that you're concerned about, the price, and you're right. The price. If we're booking Christmas time and taking a cut, that would basically cause you to lose money, and that isn't right. We want to make this a genuine win-win. So that would be stupid. However, I think you should know that we can actually just do a cut for the slow seasons and pay you your full rate. Do you see how that works? So this is just kind of a little formula that I use. Validate the concern, validate the problem that concern would cause, and then go on to resolving it. I also will say, normally we require 10%, but let me talk to my manager and see if we can just add our fee on top so it doesn't cost you anything. And then after you get in touch, you can follow up and say something like, hey, great news. My manager said that we could pay your full rates. It won't cost you a thing, and we can get you listed on our site. Let me get some parameters from you. Again, when someone approaches you and says, hey, I got great news, they're not going to be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Usually they're like, okay, cool, great news. So anyway, this is just some supplemental information I want people to be aware of. I think it's important. These are good phrases. You need to be aware of how the owners perceive things. Also on the team website, I want you to be aware there are some videos here under the, I'm sorry, I'm actually on the editor for the team site. Under tools, okay, these are the owner education videos. They answer some of the owner's questions. I want you to watch all of these videos, and I also want you to feel free to share any of these videos with the owners. These are actually videos that are designed to be shared with owners to help them understand how things work. Okay, so watch all of them, get an idea for it. If you have any questions, talk with management, and that's pretty much it.